going to be a clairvoyant energy reading for February of 2026. Yeah, make sure y'all give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if y'all enjoy the content. I will have a donations link in the description box below. What's going on with the current energy? All right, so we have the Nine of Water reverse, Nine of Cups reverse. It's all about a sense of dissatisfaction. Someone's not happy with the results or what they're achieving out of a situation. Queen of Diamonds reverse. Someone's not getting what they expected out of a situation. And I'm also getting this individual's regretting living up to their expectation to try to do something. All right, so we have the Ten of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, Five of Wands, Four of Cups, the Star Aquarius energy, the Two of Wands, a Message of Earth, the Patient Man, Pisces energy, Three of Cups, Ten of Cups reverse, the Two of Swords, Six of Swords, Seven of Wands reverse, the Sun reverse, Leo energy, the Knight of Cups, and the Four of Swords. What tends to be going on for the current energy is people are moving away from some type of conflicting energy. There's the energy of trying to resist of doing the wrong thing. There's a lot of resistance of someone's ego here. They're trying to resist that doing the wrong thing involving a situation. Someone would like to heal a situation with the Star card, or there's a few individuals that may want to heal a situation with the Star, but there's someone's ego that they keep on battling up against. This is a battle of the ego right here. They're also battling inner demons too. With the Five of Wands, there's a lot of darkness here. There's at least five of them they could be battling. One of these demons are filled with fear. It's the demon of fear, the demon of anxiety. There's a few of them that this individual's battling when it comes to this energy here. This is coming to an end with the Ten of Swords and the Four of Swords energy. They're also battling at the fact that this individual is not with somebody that they really are truly connected to on a love level with the Ten of Water reverse. They keep on trying to use somebody else with this situation because this individual is not getting what they expected out of a situation. Relentlessly using somebody else for energy. I don't know what part this fucking individual don't understand that this person is not you and you're not this person. I'm also getting the heavy Fed energy here with the star card. Their energy keeps wanting to come out the cards because somebody don't want to fucking stop with this Five of Wands energy. Their energy is coming out very heavily. The feds are going to have to get involved, or they may already be involved. That's going to be able to stop a situation. I'm also getting their energy from the Six of Swords energy. Both of these cards are giving me the indication of FBI agents. One of them is a female that could have been watching somebody that may be a public figure. This individual's been documenting things down that has been done to a public figure in regards to a marriage with his Ten of Water reverse. This is a female that has been documenting something down about a public figure suffering an injustice due to a marriage here that's in reverse, that's connecting this to this other energy with this Five of Wands energy. This female knows exactly what this Five of Wands is connected to. This is connected to a situation involving an unhappy marriage, and there's a lot of fraudulent activities that has been committed within this situation. With the money being here with the Ace of Pentacles and the message of Earth, that's giving me the vibes of Secret Service having to investigate financial transactions, something to do with a financial situation that has crossed over the state's jurisdiction. Something about this relationship or connection right here, this Ten of Water reverse, has crossed over the state's jurisdiction. And there's something that's connected to this connection within your state that's out of state. That's relentlessly being manipulated to try to hold up a situation with this patient man energy. Why am I channeling the feds as energy? The Ace of Swords reverse? Because there's an oppressive force that's relentlessly trying to hold someone back with misinformation and relentlessly making a wrong decision when it comes to an injustice. That's why I'm channeling their energy. So this is a sure confirmation. They're having to get involved because someone is being oppressed of their rights with the Ace of Swords reverse. And there's something that's also being violated across the state lines, involving another state that's connected to a connection with the Ten of Water reverse. This also has a lot to do with someone that is being oppressed with the Ace of Swords reverse. There's a lot of oppressive forces trying to oppress lies from coming out with the Ace of Swords reverse. That's another thing. There's a lot of oppression involving a lot of misinformation that these individuals don't want to surface, but the feds have the information in order for this to actually surface to free this individual from this injustice and whoever else is connected to this that has been done wrong. They're going to have to intervene for a situation to be made right. Bottom line. Hey, y'all hold on a minute. So they're going to have to intervene in order for a situation to be made right. And it sounds like to me they got a lot of information on oppressive forces trying to hold someone back involving a corrupt legality situation with a lot of misinformation. And they're trying to hide the fact that there's a situation involving someone that's at a long distance that has been connected to that they have been trying to use to manipulate something. Clarify that. The Ace of Swords reverse. Temperance reverse Sagittarius. Okay, so this is involving a lot of blackmail energy. Blackmailing. That is like a form of extortion, I want to say. It also involves a lot of identity theft and fraud. Someone's caught for using someone's identity involving a marriage here with a Ten of Water reverse. There's authority figures caught. There's authority figures caught committing fraud with someone's identity. Heavy breach of trust and treason that's gotten caught too. Clarified temperance reverse with the Ace of Swords reverse. Look, they're called Seven of Swords reverse. Exactly. Seven of us is called for treason. Seven of Swords is treason. This is also the card of imposter. Being an imposter. They're trying to use this piece of shit in order to try to get someone in trouble involving a marriage. That way they could continue with the situation in order to try to get the wrong person wrongfully convicted. So this is attempted malicious prosecution here. So they're intervening to protect someone from being maliciously prosecuted due to something that has been done with someone else that was using this individual's identity as connected to a corrupt authority figure that they was able to unmask with the Seven of Swords reverse. Two of Pentacles reverse, another reversal. They're caught for a hell of a lot of wire fraud too. This person's caught juggling something with finances. Clarify the Two of Pentacles reverse message of water. They're caught with a hell of a lot of messages. That's for damn sure. With the message of water card, that's all about messages. This authority figure is also caught with having conversations with juveniles with the message of water. They're caught with having conversations with children. That's a confirmation right there. Clarify that. The psychic reverse, Pisces energy. So that's the secrets that they're trying to relentlessly keep hidden, but it's out with the high priestess reverse energy. Their secrets are all about them having conversations with these individuals. I'm gonna tell you who has the secrets. Could be the cyber task force. That's one of them. And then you have Secret Service. Eight of Cups reverse. They possibly got information on them refusing to walk away from a Pisces female. This could be a mom. There's a lot of things that this individual has been involved in. They're also caught for relentlessly going to other people for witchcraft. Even though they may not be able to put a charge on them for that because that's considered the First Amendment apparently. But it could be getting caught for going to a witch involving a lot of witchcraft. Refusing to leave someone alone with a lot of witchcraft and ritual abuse. It's witchcraft and ritual abuse. Clarify that. The Ace of Water. There's some dark, sinister energy siphoning rituals that has been accumulated that's going to be used against this individual as evidence because of what has been done to youngins with that message of water energy. I'm here. They have a detailed log here of what has been done with some of these rituals that are highly inhumane. That's going to better to prove who they really are. That's not just connected to this situation with the marriage, the unhappy marriage with the ton of water reverse, but it's connected to a lot of other things that has been done involving dark ritualistic practices that was taking place. That's connecting it to the physical violations of treason with the seven of swords reverse, using someone's identity to imposture them and to commit a hell of a lot of crimes over the state's jurisdiction. King of air. So that right there is authority in the upright. That's right after the ace of water energy. So there's an authority figure here. With that king of swords holding that sword and looking forward, there's information that they have on that. They're not just sitting on the information. They're accumulating evidence in order to take action. These individuals are definitely not ignoring this issue right here. Clarify the king of swords. Queen of Pentacles reverse. Yeah, they're not ignoring this issue. This is connected to a female here. Could be an older woman. Queen of Pentacles reverse. This is right after the King of Swords energy. So they have a lot of information and evidence to prove that this Queen of Pentacles reverse is connected to a marriage involving a hell of a lot of trafficking, exploitation too. And someone was sitting there working with this individual. That's what this King of Swords. It's not just one of them. There's several of them. There could be up to the total of 7 to 8 different detectives on a higher up level that has been looking into the situation. And this King of Swords has a hell of a lot of information on the Queen of Pentacles reverse. And she's connected to an unhappy marriage with fraud, trafficking, and exploitation. And someone else is connected to this Queen of Pentacles reverse. That's an authority figure. Yeah, Seven of Cups causing nothing but illusions. This King of Swords has a lot of evidence pertaining to this individual's mental state. They have been on a hell of a lot of substances. That's been accumulated too. It's heavy substance abuse here with the Seven of Cups energy. So that he definitely knows that this individual's not in their right state of mind. None of these individuals are in their right state of mind. They're investigating a lot of illegal D word activity. I'm gonna just go ahead and pronounce it as drag, but it's replaced with the U. Drag, illegal drag activity. I don't know why they have information since overly sensitive in these times, but that's what it's called. I'm gonna replace that with drag. Illegal drag activity, or it could be drag trafficking. Remember, just replace the A with the U. Clarify that. Three of fire reverse. It's a lot of information on delay after delay after delay after delay. that could have been going on to take a place the last 3 years with the three of fire reverse. So ongoing delay here with the three of fire reverse. And this took place throughout the last 1 to 2 to 3 years. So this been going on for a good minute. This could also be going back to the year of 2023. Yeah, that would be 3 years. Come to think of it, look, 2023, and you have 2026. Five of Swords. There was a lot of crimes that was being committed around that time frame of 2023. A hell of a lot of crimes, set up energy. It's also been discovered that something was set up with a business being ran around that time frame of 2023. There was a business that was orchestrated and was premeditated to be set up to be ran. But there's something even before then that was accumulated that's connecting this Queen of Pentacles to this activity with this Five of Air. And with the Five of Air being there, that has a lot to do with air communication involving 5G, text messages, phone calls being sent through the air. So that's connected to a hell of a lot of harassment, involving a lot of communications with a lot of harassment, connected to a disinformation campaign that would represent someone that's going through a smear campaign that's not the truth, mobbing them. Five of Swords is giving heavy extremism vibes too. That does represent criminal activity. Five of Swords. It represents crimes. And the crimes that that is being committed is a hell of a lot of harassment. Because if you go look up this meaning of this card, it's going to represent harassment, bullying, harassment, intimidation. That's what that card represents. Depending on the context of what the reading is about. But this is what this energy is all connected to. Five of Swords is also that setup energy. Someone looking to do something underhand in order to achieve a victory, even if it's a hollow one. And there's something that could have came out in the year of 2025, from 2023 to 2025, of a setup. But something was originally taking place all the way back to the year of 3 years ago, 1 to 2 to 3 years ago. That could have possibly been done in 2023. And then you have the Five of Swords there. And these individuals fail to realize that the federal statute of limitations for the average federal crime is 5 years. This is 3 years this has been going on. So you know what that means? It's still within that time frame of federal statute of limitations to investigate these individuals. Uh-huh. Because you got 2 years left. But with this activity, I want to say that that will go to the 10 years statute of limitations, 10 to 20 years. But I mean, involving something like this, it's not going to take them that damn long to accumulate evidence and all to pursue a situation. No, they're not going to wait that damn long. But the average federal statute of limitations will be 5 years. Getting that all off of this energy right here. But they fail to realize these individuals that are involved in all of this, there's 2 years left. So there's still the statute of limitations that is running. That's valid. That leaves with them of enough jurisdiction to do something within these 2 year time frame right now. Why am I channeling something to do with federal statute of limitations on what's going on here? The Knight of Wands reversed because these individuals are reckless. That's why. Reckless criminal, it's reckless aggravated criminal activity that don't want to stop. Don't want to stop. This is involving a hell of a lot of abuse too. Knight of Wands reverse could represent like that's the card that's been depicted with a man on the horse. But with that being in reverse, there could be some acts taking place with animals that are inhumane. Yep. And abusing an animal, that right there, I want to say now is a federal felony. But yeah, this is just a bunch of reckless activity. It's on an aggravated level. It's aggravated because these individuals are not willing to stop. This is the information that they have. They're not willing to stop. They're not willing to bring proper justice involving you being done dirty this kind of way, and yet you innocent the whole time. Especially if some of you out there, you could be a public figure with the star card. The star card is all about illumination too. Sun card is more so about illumination, but the star can represent illumination. It's definitely illuminating your innocence and why this is being done. It's like they're basically looking at this as you being targeted with a situation due to you being a celebrity. Because yes, they do have innocent celebrities that go through things because of people trying to get money off of them, and people just trying to sit there to stagnate their progression and what they're doing. And it's for authority figures to protect people like this that's in that position. So some of you are definitely known as a celebrity with the star. And this is the activity that some of you are surrounded by that's trying to slow you down, but someone's going to make sure that you're going to be able to move on and move forward. Clarify the Five of Swords energy. The Two of Water reverse. Okay, so this is someone that you don't have any conversations with or connections with. Conversations being manipulated between two people. That's originally coming from this Five of Swords energy. So something was premeditated and planned out in the year of 2023 to start a business, connecting this to an unhappy marriage that's at a long distance. And to continue with doing multiple things involving setups with someone that you don't have any communication with. It's an ex lover of yours that you don't have any communications with. What's the closing message? The Hermit, Virgo energy, the Nine of Water. The eight of okay, so this scam ain't gonna work. Whoever is scamming and doing this repetitively is not gonna work. Two of Cups. Look, justice will be served. This could also be the DOJ, Department of Justice. Someone's making sure justice is served the proper way. Like this scam is not gonna work at all. No, it's not. There's a Libra somewhere that could be helping some of y'all out with the justice card. You may also be coming into contact with a Libra, feminine or a male, that you may end up in a connection with. That could be at a long distance. That could have been also accumulating and documenting things down about what was being done to you. This is not someone from where you're. It's like they're not from around where you live at. Look, message of water. So that's the good news. Temperance, Sagittarius energy, Seven of Swords, King of Fire, the Ace of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles reverse, Queen of Pentacles reverse. She's coming up again in reverse. This right here, this individual doing something repetitively involving this Eight of Pentacles reverse. It's not going to work. Nine of Wands reverse, the Strength card, the Knight of Fire reverse, and the Six of Cups. So this card is coming out in reverse again. There's still some sneaky energy going on here. But this sneaky energy of what's being seen is on camera. There's way too much information on the Queen of Pentacles reverse here. It's coming up in reverse again. This is involving someone from your past that you don't have connections with. I'm tired of this fucking energy coming out my car because these individuals don't want to stop, bro. They don't want to leave this person alone. That's all right. There's some FBI agents that's gonna show themselves. Watch. Watch. Is the FBI involved with this situation to stop these fucking clowns from continuing with this bullshit cycle? To hold the right individuals accountable for what they have been doing? I had enough of this fucking shit coming through my fucking cars, bro. Are the feds involved to stop this? Judgment reverse? Yeah, the ending. That's the death card with the world. Signed to me they are. Because of someone being falsely accused and a lot of scapegoating going on. That looking at the devil. Queen of Pentacles reverse again, bro. Uh-huh. Ace of Water. They could be getting involved because of a Scorpio masculine that's having to go through this with the ending in the world and the King of Hearts energy. Two of Swords. Justice reverse. This injustice is ending. The Mother. Two of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. So this could either be a Scorpio masculine or a Capricorn masculine that's having to undergo this unfair treatment by this judicial system with the justice reversal. They're going to have to intervene to end this out because this is a corrupt situation all the way through and through. See how the justice and the judgment is in reverse? They're going to have to end that. It sounds like to me they are going to put a stop to the situation because with the devil and the justice and the judgment card being in reverse, these individuals that are being seen to be doing this to this individual are caught for trafficking. And there's also drag trafficking too. Re- Replace the U with a A, but it's actually you. Drag, but replace the A with a U. Connected to a hell of a lot of trafficking and a lot of explicit. Right, this is ridiculous. This card keeps showing itself in reverse. So that's where the main problem is. And this individual relentlessly trying to harm a Capricorn masculine with a King of Diamonds, and you have a King of Hearts, which would be Scorpio. So it's either a Scorpio masculine that's having to undergo this activity or a Capricorn masculine that's having to undergo this activity. They clearly see it for what it is, too. With a Seven of Water reverse. So this cycle is going to close. This cycle is going to close. Especially with the Death card and the World card being side by side each other, run the same reading. It don't matter where these cards could be, but for them to come up in the upright position in the same reading, that right there is a sure sign that this situation is in and out all the way it should, because of this right here. This is unfair to this individual that has been going through that. And these individuals inside of here are not holding this individual accountable. This Queen of Pentacles reverse accountable. And they see that. That's all connected to a Queen of Pentacles reverse. She keeps coming up. This is the problem. This is why all of this has been done because of a Queen of Pentacles reverse. Clarify that. Clarify this reading. Clarify the ending in the world. Look, ooh, the tower, damn. Heavy on that Mars energy, Scorpio energy. Also some slight Aries energy in there too. It's that Mars energy. Yeah, bro, this is coming to an end. Three in the upright. That's three major arcanas. Look at that. Out of all the cards, I pulled a tower card, clarifying the ending in the world. Yeah, ooh, that could be that raid. This is ending. Heavy on the Scorpio energy here. If you're a Scorpio male that's had to deal with a situation, that's coming to an end. Right, these fuckers like it or not, it's coming to an end. Something's intervening because of this right here, with the justice and the judgment reverse, with the devil card being there. It has to end this way. It has to. It has to end this way. It's going to end for a Queen of Pentacles reverse. So what is this that's ending? Let's go ahead and get a description on that. See if the cards pick it up. We already know what it's about. What is this that's ending? The message of air. Look, some type of conflict involving a community or a living situation. A lot of fraud, a hell of a lot of fraud. That's what's ending. A hell of a lot of fraud being committed. Look, Knight of Cups reverse, another card is fraud. A lot of fraud being committed. Troublemaking energy. Yep. False investigations are ending too with this Hermit reverse. Knight of Swords. King of Swords reverse. This is a different King of Swords reverse. These are individuals that are being seen to be abusing their authority. We're continuing with false investigations. With nothing but fraud. The Magician. Seven of Pentacles reverse. That's all about keep on coming up with a plan after a plan after a plan. And all the plans that are connected to this is to commit fraud. It's fraudulent, deceptive practices. That's going to fall under Title 34 USC Section 12601, which is pattern of practice. Yeah, this not wanting to end with the ending card reverse. The Ace of Wands, the Fool reverse. These individuals keep on continuing and continuing and continuing and continuing. King of Fire, Five of Cups reverse, and there's also witchcraft in it too, necromancy, abuse. Oh, so they do got evidence on that. Aha. So they do have a bit of evidence on those rituals being done, huh? Apparently so. This is necromancy ritual abuse. Remember how I channeled earlier when I pulled the psychic card reverse? It's all about the high priestess in reverse. And with the ending card being a reverse, that's a death card reverse. That means conjuring up things that are supposed to be resting, that are not of this world. This is necromancy ritual. Witchcraft. This is inhumane things that are being done with the King of Swords reverse. That represents inhumane. It involves a hell of a lot of lies, too. They may have a hell of a lot of evidence on monitoring spirit activity. These individuals using necromancy and all to monitor someone spiritually to torment them. There's tormenting rituals that are being seen and observed. Somebody's paying close attention to what this can do to someone, what it looks like. They may not be able to see these demons being called up or the paranormal activity that is manifested on a spiritual level. It's like they're more so paying attention to the way they feel intuitively because you're able to get a bad feeling in your stomach that something ain't right. You better to pick up this off feeling. You're better to feel as if something is not right. Some of these individuals may not realize that it's on a spiritual level, but it is. And I'm getting that these individuals have information and physical evidence of a trail of itself behind that's proving these rituals, what is connected to them and how they're being done. I promise you, one of them is necromancy. You know what else I'm getting out of these rituals? It's almost as if this individual is surrounded by the walking dead. Everybody around them is soulless. The majority of the individuals around this individual are soulless. I'm gonna tell you why. Because these individuals that be sitting up there doing these rituals and entertaining them and participating in these ritual abuse have sold their soul, and their soul is not originally in the body. They have a spirit in their body, bro. This is not like normal people that have a soul. Like, you know how the spiritual community, they're connected to their soul? Even to somebody that's not a spiritual person. Like, if you have a legitimate authority figure, you're gonna better to notice the difference between someone that is robotic, which that's a sign in itself to not trust that person. There's something off about them. You're gonna better to notice the difference between someone that is robotic and someone that could communicate and be themselves. They're not gonna sound robotic. They don't have to be a spiritual person, but they're still truly connected to themselves. They know who they are. These individuals that has been operating through this situation is not human. Yes, some of them have been seen to be projecting. It's like them doing a spirit switching or something, to where they project their soul outwards and it leaves the body, and yet the spirit takes over that vessel. These individuals that has been involved with doing all of this, that's connected to that, has no soul. They're not connected to themselves at all. They're being ran by spirits. That's how dangerous this is, bro. They may look human, that's an illusion. Of course, the physical flesh is still going to be there, but what is running these individuals' minds and running their bodies to commit this injustice of these actions being done to this person are clearly being ran by demonic spirits, by necromancy abuse. Telling you, it's overindulging in witchcraft practices involving necromancy, conjuring up the dead. And it's not just about conjuring up the dead, it's about conjuring up monitoring spirits while doing things to swap their souls with the resting. It's like they're on autopilot mode. That's dangerous, bro. That's dangerous. There's also reckless X-rated activity being committed to with the Ace of Wands energy. These individuals are overly aggressive and out of control with committing a lot of reckless activity involving X-rated stuff with the Ace of Wands. You know what else I'm getting with the ending card and this being in reverse? There's reckless activity being committed with possibly nature, animals that have passed on that was harmed from one of these individuals, being seen to be engaging in nasty, deceptive practices when it comes to that, to be engaging in inappropriate behavior with animals that are not living anymore. Knight of Swords is something very significant about a horse. Don't have to be a horse, it could be any animal. But a Knight of Swords, that right there would be a horse. They keep on doing inhumane things involving necromancy, ritual abuse, and doing things involving this right here. It's like resurrection of dead energy with the end in reverse energy. It's like these individuals are relentlessly trying to wear the skin of an animal, like wear the skin of an animal to force themselves into being like an animal. That's all right, because this is being documented. This is being investigated and having evidence collected on it. And who these individuals really are, that's supposed to be authority, man. You ain't no authority for you ain't nothing close to it. You ain't shit, bro. With this King of Air reverse, this is who they have that's supposed to be protecting you. Not human. Not human. I promise you. This is not human. They may have the physical flesh on their vessel, but I'm gonna tell you right now, bro, what's beyond that vessel is not human. It's a demonic spirit along with other spirits that has taken over them. This is not human. Telling you. And I'm gonna tell you another thing to explain why something may sound as if they're robotic, because they no longer have a soul. That spirit don't know how to communicate properly. So it's gonna come across as a robotic, like a robotic type of tone. But this is all what's ending. And with the message of air energy, there's a lot of monitoring, illegal, unlawful monitoring going on too. Oh, so the higher ups could be investigating, monitoring spirit ritual abuse that will be coming from this necromancy. It's basically these individuals that are sitting there monitoring you are not human. Even though they may be sitting in a vehicle or doing things to where you could tell that they're doing that, the person that's inside that vehicle is not human. That's a ritual being performed, bro. A necromancy ritual being performed. They're being used to torment this person. They're being used to torment you. Clarify all that, but this has been investigated. The father reverse, that would be the emperor reverse. It's basically these individuals projecting their soul outwards in order for them to end up in your residence or to monitor you wherever you go. If some of you out there have a strong psychic ability side, you will be able to channel that accurately. You will be able to discern what's going on when it comes to you feeling these individuals around. Or it's like you feel like these individuals are inside your house. You feel their energy around you, or you get like visions. That's these individuals projecting their soul outwards in order to sit there to do that or to attach themselves to monitoring spirits. That way, the monitoring spirit can torment you in your own residence. But yet, the physical activity manifesting with these individuals sitting in their vehicles, sitting there and monitoring, that's a ritual being practiced, a satanic ritual, monitoring spirit ritual being practiced, of isolation rituals too, to try to amplify the effects of on a level in hopes of trying to drive you psychologically insane to where you don't know what's going on, but you do because some of you out there you're protected by the Most High. How dangerous does the feds perceive this activity? Clarify that. Ten of Wands reverse. They perceive this as succumb energy, like the Ten of Wands reverse all about succumb. I'm getting that very heavily. Succumb energy. This can have someone succumb to their. It could bring an ending to someone, bro, with a Ten of Fire reverse. If there's an average person out there that don't know what's taking place, they could succumb to this activity. Clarify the Ten of Fire reverse. King of Pentacles. I'm not really going to read the cards off the logical meanings. I'm a more so read into the imagery of the little bit of imagery that they have on the cards here. This all about a dark cloud, right? You have a lot of dark clouds here. And the Ten of Wands upright will be someone pushing through all that, but in reverse, that's all about heading for a collapse. Having someone collapse and succumb to all of this being done to them. That's all that darkness. That's all these individuals sitting there monitoring, doing things relentlessly with the Ten of Wands reverse, monitoring. That's all the monitoring spirits. You got one right here, right there, right there, right there, right there. And with this being right here, that right there would be an indication of self-harm. To push the individual to self-harm, to injury, serious bodily injury. If the person don't know what's being done to them, if they don't know what's going on. But still though, even if you do know what's going on, this is uncalled for. Because some of these individuals know how this is affecting you apparently. And I'm gonna tell you why this is not just a First Amendment thing. This is not nothing to do with that. This is physical violations being committed due to a lot of fraudulent physical investigations that should not be taking place. This is all done in order to torment and to torture you with these practices under Title 34 USC Section 12601. That's deprivating you of your federal protected rights under Title 18 USC Section 242, which would be deprivation of rights. But you see why I'm getting at with this? The main reason why the false investigations keep on continuing and this type of troublemaking keeps on continuing, they're doing this only to commit these rituals to try to justify, to have this masqueraded to where these rituals cannot be discovered to be being done to you. But this is exactly what's being caught. This is the main reason why they keep on continuing with this activity because of them being involved in dark practices of satanic ritual abuse. And everybody that's connected to this is not human. See all this darkness right here? That's a cloud. That's a cloud. That's a lot of dark clouds, bro. That's all them individuals. All these people that are participating in these activities that are illegal on the Fourth Amendment violation. What you think a false investigation is? They're just using this to their advantage, just to sit there to commit fraud, to continue to torture. This is crime against nature, crime against humanity, and crime against children that are being committed to, that is being investigated with these practices. That's what they're trying to relentlessly do involving these false investigations. To try to give some form of justification as if they have some right to look into you, but they don't. That's a Fourth Amendment violation under Title 18 USC Section 242. And it's also under 241 due to oppression and intimidation. That would be the physical violations that are violating your federal protected rights. That does require federal law intervention to take place because that's not protected under the First Amendment. It's not a belief, it's a crime. The minute these fuckers go along with doing this to you, to look into you for no legitimate reason, and to continue to try to torment and harass you, that's under the Title 18 USC Section 242, deprivation of your rights, bro. They're also committing the 18 US Code 1962, a RICO, that's mixed in with this. But it's more so on the Title 18 USC Section 241 and 242 violation. And for those that don't know, that's your federal protected rights that are being violated. Yes, you have a right to your federal protected rights. That's why they call it USC. That's the United States Code, I want to say. US is abbreviation for not the USC is abbreviation, I want to say, for United States Code. That would be US law, which is federal law. And like I said before, you got to pay attention to the signs. When it says US law, that means us. That means us all together. They're supposed to sit there and to be there for us. That's the US. Even though it may mean United States, but it means all persons of this country. That means under the 14th Amendment, everybody has the right to equal due process when it comes to their federal constitutional protected rights. That would be under the 14th Amendment. Your Fourth Amendment secures you and protects you from unreasonable searches and seizure of property, and to protect you from unlawful seizure and searches on your person. And it also represents under the Fourth Amendment when it means protect you from unreasonable seizure, searches and seizure. It means from seizing your person too. You know what that means? From illegally kidnapping you. That means your person cannot go anywhere. They cannot take you anywhere. They cannot seize your person. That means you as an individual. Because there's another code. Hold on, y'all. There's another thing that gives you the right to resist the unlawful arrest under the 177. I want to say it's the 177 US 529 1900. Under the US Supreme rulings that ruled out that protected somebody involving that because they didn't have probable cause. And under Title 18 USC Section 241 and 242, especially the 242, deprivating your rights to color law violations to commit fraud with a Knight of Cups reverse. How is that legitimate probable cause? Objection. It's not. It's invalid, and that's going to be able to prove obstruction of your 14th Amendment of equal due process of, once again, your federal constitutional protected rights. So are they really doing their job the right way? Hell no, they're not. So therefore requires federal law intervention to take place. Fuck these individuals. Hey, shit to start with whoever's running this. Yeah, hey, y'all hold on a minute. Let me go ahead and look up that code real quick. The U.S. Supreme ruling. I'll be right back, y'all. Y'all hold on a minute. Oh, they got the haters. Look at them. Man, that's all they got. That's all the comments they could leave. Oh, man. Damn. Sucks to be talking about themselves, huh? I sure hate to be in that position to be on a fake account and be sitting there projecting who they really are upon another individual. That's gotta feel shameful, right? Damn, bro. But anyways, look, this when it comes to the federal constitutional rights, it says your rights to free speech, due process, protection against unreasonable search and seizure, Fourth Amendment, and equal protection, 14th Amendment, are federal constitutional rights, and local courts must uphold these as defined by the Supreme. Some of you may be unaware of the Supremacy Clause. It says the U.S. Constitution establishes federal law, including Supreme Court interpretations as a supreme law of the land, meaning it overrides state laws and local practices that conflict with it. But anyways, I'm about to go ahead and show y'all a certain title and section. Not a title and section, but it's a U.S. Supreme ruling that ruled in someone's favor with resisting an unlawful arrest that protected this person. See, that's something that these locals are not used to. Especially people like this, shit, they stand no chance against these rulings, bro. It says it right here. It says John Bad Elk versus United States 1900. Hold on, let me go there. It says under the 177 US 529 1900. So I was right. That's what it's under. The 177 US 529 1900. A US Supreme Court. It says historically recognized a common law right to use reasonable force to resist an unlawful arrest. It says the Supreme Court ruled that a person has a right to resist an unlawful arrest, even to the point of taking an officer's damn. I don't know if I can read that on. They got this fucking free speech all fucked up. But it says it right here. It says the 177 US 529 1900, the Supreme Court ruled that a person has a right to resist an unlawful arrest, even to the point of doing that if necessary to defend against such illegal action. The court held that an officer acting without a warrant or legal authority cannot expect absolute submission. Exactly. And by these individuals continuing with false investigations to try to do things and all to torment and to try to harass you, they was to try to do anything to you physically, that would be in violation of the Title 18 USC Section 242, deprivation of your rights, as connected directly to a Fourth Amendment violation of your right to privacy. That means that you have the right to not be searched electronically or through your travels or any form of GPS tracking either. You have that right. And with these individuals doing all this to violate your rights on this extreme level, and if they was to do anything to threaten your freedom physically, you have the right to physically resist the unlawful arrest because they don't have a legitimate probable cause or any type of valid warrant when it comes to that. Because a warrant was already tampered with and it's outside their jurisdiction. They have no jurisdiction to continue with this activity to start with because it's in federal jurisdiction what they're doing. They're being seen to be overstepping their boundaries and committing federal offenses when doing things to violate federal law inside their jurisdiction when they don't have a federal badge to start with. That's not their jurisdictional law to be enforcing. And quite frankly, they're not even enforcing the correct law to start with, which is state law, what these locals are doing. They're not enforcing state law like they should. I mean, you sitting there conjuring up all kind of spirits, bro. You commit necromancy. You think that's a state law praxis? Fuck out of here. Need your sorry asses rated. You need to be thrown out the institution. You ain't fit to be no official. You ain't nothing but an evil spirit that deserves to fall with the rest of them. That's how we feel about it. Feds, get these assholes out of there, bro. Get them out of there. Get them out of there. We know about our rights in this country. We don't want this trash in these institutions. Get them the hell on out of there. I ain't saying that in a rude manner. It's just my passion side coming out as I say, hey, enough is enough. Get the search warrant in, get the raid agents rounded up, and get these individuals out of there. Enough is enough, bro. We clearly know about our rights. It may not be everybody out there that may know about their rights or know about the law. Time's up. Get them out of there. It'll happen eventually. It'll happen. I clarify with my cards what is in and something that don't want to end. Involving a lot of dark practices, what it is, with that high priestess reverse coming out, and a hell of a lot of fraudulent investigations, false investigations connected to a hell of a lot of fraud. Yep. And y'all seen it right then and there. When it comes to that 177 US 529 1900 of a supreme ruling that a person has the right to resist the unlawful arrest. Says the court held that an officer acting without a warrant or legal authority. That means when it says legal authority, you can challenge that by these individuals having zero jurisdiction over you when it comes to committing federal violations on your person. Therefore, it gives them no legitimate authority in that jurisdiction to do any further harm to you. They have no jurisdiction over what they're doing to commit these type of violations. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. And right here backs that up under the 177 US 529 1900. But what I will tell y'all is make sure that you got a camera running every time that you leave. Make sure that you put in valid reports to the FBI. Make sure that you keep a valid dialogue on that. Keep a log and a lot of documentation on that. You can also speak with some of them as to tell them to keep a log of that. Some of you may feel like that ain't gonna get anywhere, but it will. Because these individuals will continue to engage in this activity and it's gonna draw nothing but attention upon them. It's gonna prove that you're telling the truth. You're not messing with anybody, you're not screwing with anybody. And yet a situation don't want to leave you alone. And eventually it's gonna draw a lot of attention upon them. Like I said, you have federal constitutional protected rights. Especially under the supreme rulings. It's a supreme law of the land and binding on all other U.S. courts, including state and local ones. It says it's establishing percentage that local judges must follow. So you know what that means? It means before it even gets in a courtroom. That means these authority figures stand no chance against rulings that's already sustained. It means you have the right to exercise the Fifth Amendment all the way to not answer any of their questions and to ask them right then and there, are you free to go or are you being detained? If they can't provide you a probable cause on what they're doing in the presence of you, you have the right to ask them, are you free to go or are you being detained? What's your badge number? What's your name? How long you been in this field? How long you been in this profession? You have the right to ask some questions and interrogate them and investigate them. See what they work for, how long they've been on the force, what's their unit number. You were like a supervisor out there. You have the right to ask them all those questions. But what I would do is, you know, you ain't did anything wrong and you're for sure that you got it on camera, you got it documented down. You just ask them one time, are you free to go or are you being detained? If they can't give you a straight answer, you keep asking them, are you free to go or are you being detained? That's basically remaining silent with avoiding answering any questions by flipping the script and asking them questions because you have the right to do that. And they had their what is that? They're obligated to give you their badge number and their name because they're a public servant. They have to give you their badge number and your name and their name. They have to. And I'm gonna tell you right now, you as a U.S. taxpayer, being a taxpayer, you know that uniform that they're wearing, that badge that they wear, right? That cruiser that they cruising around in. That's government property. You know what that's paid off by? You as a taxpayer. So you have just as much to say so. That's paid off by the taxpayers' money, bro. That's what these individuals, some of them that's in this ego, they sitting there thinking that they could do anything that they want, but yet they fail to realize that they're working for the real bosses. They got several bosses, a lot of bosses out there. They think that their chief or a captain or a chief in that department is their original boss or higher than them, but they got to realize that the ones that's outside of that institution, that's a taxpayer, is where the real power is, and it's with you. We get to tell these individuals they're not doing their job the right way. We have the right to speak up and tell them exactly how we feel about them, which is protected under the First Amendment. They have no jurisdiction or no authority to conduct an unlawful arrest or to try to oppress you in any way under Title 18 USC, Section 241, freedom of speech. No, that's from the Declaration of Independence. These individuals need to do their research because they ain't messing with some average Joe. And the main reason why spiritual people are down here is to better the law. It's to correct a lot of injustice by inspiring the FBI to look into these institutions and also provide them with information involving U.S. Supreme rulings under certain titles and sections that they may not be aware of either. And here's another thing they may not. There's also a thing here that protects you from your presence being in a courtroom. It requires you to not be present in a courtroom. It says it under the Federal Rule 43, but that's on a federal level though. Allow for defendant absence in minor cases, misdemeanors at the court's discretion. Recognize an expense hardship and sometimes for sentence reduction, showing flexibility. It says it right here, allow for defendant absence. That means in a misdemeanor case. You know what absence means, right? That allows for the individual to not be present. That's under the Federal Rule 43. That allows for defendant absence in minor cases, misdemeanors at the court's discretion, recognizing the expense hardship and sometimes for sentence reduction. And it says it also right here, release from judgments. It says Rule 60B allows relief for mistake, excusable neglect, or other reasons justifying relief for justice, highlighting court's ability to correct errors. That's under the Federal Rule 60, and you have Federal Rule 43. And for the ones that are exercising their freedom of speech under the First Amendment, this is protected under the U.S. Supreme rulings when it comes to Cohen versus California, 1971. The court protected a man wearing a jacket with expletive ruling that offensive language alone isn't enough to justify restricted speech unless it incites violence or creates a severe disturbance, protecting individual choice and public discourse. And it says principles established, no vague laws. States can't use general disturbance of peace laws to suppress speech or assembly, especially for political protests. And when it comes to harassment, it says yes, if someone repetitively follows you after you try to disengage, especially to antagonize and cause fear, it can absolutely be considered criminal harassment or stalking. As it fits the pattern of unwanted, repeated conduct, like following or watching that makes a person fear for their safety. Though legal definitions vary by location and depend on a reasonable person's standard. A single overly threatening act can sometimes qualify, but generally it's the pattern of behavior that establishes the crime, even if the person claims no harmful intent. And it says it right here when it's likely legal protected free speech, general profanity, simple cursing or yelling profanity in public, not directed menacingly, is generally protected by the First Amendment, though considered impolite. Insults, not threats. Insulting someone with swear words without threats or inciting a fight is usually protected speech, as established in cases like Cohen versus California. Cohen versus California, which is a U.S. Supreme ruling. It's advised, but these individuals just back the fuck off, bro. Leave you alone. You have freedom and rights in this country. But anyways, this is what I have for the reading. This will not resonate with everybody. Y'all make sure y'all leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if y'all enjoy the content. Donations link will be in the description box below. But anyways, till next time,